Hello, everybody. So I made this card, I think about a month ago, and I like it, but it's a little plain. I'm going to recreate it, and I'm going to jazz it up a little bit because, yeah, it's a little boring. Plus, I do not need a happy birthday card, but I am going to need a couple of Mother's Day cards for next month. And so the one I make will be for my mother-in-law because my mother watches my videos, so I don't want her to see her card beforehand. But this card, I really liked the layout. I just think it needs a little more something. So let's get started. First of all, I have my card base, which is a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of white cardstock. And I have scored it at 5 1/2 inches and then just folded it, creased it. Made sure I had a really good crease on it. And this is my card base. My next layer is a piece of this, looks like light denim to me, and it is from the Mystic Romance paper collection. I have all of this info written over here. If I can get a blog post written before this video goes up, I will absolutely link it. I'm trying to do Veda, so I'm not going to make a lot of promises on blog posts, but I will give it my best shot. So this is a piece of that Mystic Romance. This is what it looks like on the other side. So cute. But I'm going to use this as my base, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. Then my next layer is 3 3/4 by 5. And again, this is a piece from that Mystic Romance collection. And things look stitched, embroidered in the Mystic Romance, really pretty. And then I have for the inside, I'm going to do this layer that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then a white layer that is 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to do some stamping on the inside also. This banner, this gold strip, it's called Lemon Drop, and it is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. This oatmeal cookie piece is 1 by 4 1/4. And then this piece of vellum is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I just think putting the vellum in just kind of adds something to it. I really like it. Now my little snail stamp, it comes from this little day fern stamp set. And we're going to also use this little piece here for the inside. But the snail, instead of stamping him out on white like I did on this one, I decided to stamp him out on that little denim piece. And I think it turned out really cute. I hope you can see the difference. I also fussy cut him already because I'm the world's slowest fussy cutter. So I wanted to get that done beforehand. But you can see how I stamped it right on here. And I think it's really cute. I also cut him out a lot closer to the body and the detail than I did before. I left a white around there, and I didn't do that this time. Okay, and the other stamps that we're going to use is Annual Celebrations. We're going to use this stamp, and we're going to mask and use pieces of the stamp in 2 different spots, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. And then I have various adhesives and things out here that I'm going to use. Okay, so first things first, I want to stamp this inside piece. I want to do all of my stamping ahead of time because if I mess up the stamping before it's attached to the card, no big deal. I can flip over this white piece or I can get another white piece, whatever I need to do. But if I adhere it to the card and then I mess up the stamping, I'm going to be a little more upset because I've got to start all over with the card base and everything. So I'm going to do this first. We're going to take this little piece from the card, from the fern. What is it called? Fern Day? Fern. Yes, Day Fern. Fern Day, Day Fern. I've got it. Collection. And by the way, there's a die that goes with this, and it cuts out this big piece. No die for this little guy. Too bad, because I could have used it. Okay, so we are going to stamp this. I think I'm going to put one here and then one here. And this is totally winging it. I haven't done this yet on any of the cards. And then I've got the little snail guy right here and then our sentiment about here. So let's give that a shot and see how that turns out. I'm only using 2 colors of ink. I'm going to use this Huckleberry Fusion and I'm going to use this black licorice. So on the inside here, I think that the snail is going to be black, and I think the other pieces, I think this is going to be black also, and the sentiment will be this Huckleberry Fusion. So let's do this. I know this could be a green color, but I just think I'm going to like it better like this. Okay, so I always bring my ink pad to my stamp so that I can see that it's getting covered nicely. So let us go right up here. And this grid paper comes in handy because I need to make sure I've got this paper even before I stamp it. You can see how I always move it with my hand. I blame that on being a lefty, though I'm not sure that's what it is. I think it's just me. And you can see how this looks a little stitched also. I really like this collection. This Day Fern is part of that Mystic Romance collection also, the stamp set. Okay, and then we're going to stamp another one right down here. Just like that. So cute. Okay, I'm going to wipe this guy off really quickly because I need this. I'm going to just keep using the same block. Okay, so we're going to put this little snail down in this corner. And I am not the speediest crafter, so I hope this video doesn't run too long, which is what usually happens when I do a demo like this. I hope you can see the detail on this little guy. It is so cute. Okay, and I keep some baby wipes at hand because, as you can see, I've already got black ink on my hand. And, yeah, I don't want to get that on my card and ruin what I just did. So I am constantly wiping my hands with baby wipes. Okay, so for the sentiment, we're going to use the Huckleberry Fusion. And we're going to take this stamp that says Celebrate Mom and Happy Mother's Day. And I do believe I'm going to put the Happy Mother's Day banner on the inside so we can write the sentiment under, and the Celebrate Mom on the front cover, on the front of the card on that banner. So let's take this, and we're going to have to mask it off in order to get the just the Happy Mother's Day on the inside. So I have this, and it is Post-it note labeling and cover-up tape. I call it masking tape for my purposes because that's what I do with it. And so we're going to place it on the top part of the stamp, like so. Get it as close to that banner as we can because we want to try to not get any ink on that top part. Then I'm going to take this Huckleberry Fusion. And it'll be a little trickier to get it all stamped up well because of that piece being there. Okay, and that looks good. And then we're going to take off this piece carefully and make sure I don't have any underneath there that went through, and I don't, so it looks good. All right, let's put this up here. And I'm going to just do this banner, I think right about here. And I want to take a little more pressure on this because it's a solid stamp, and I want to make sure it's stamped solid, and that turned out cute. So this will be the inside on top of this yellow layer. So I'm just going to add some of my Journey Craft Glue, one of my favorites. And sometimes a little dry piece gets over the front, so you have to glue dries like that. And I'm almost out. I've got to place an order because I'm out of my medium foam squares, and I could have used them for this card. I didn't realize I had run out. And I'm almost out of craft glue. Yeah, it's time to place an order. I hope I don't run out before I'm done with this card because I haven't placed my order yet. Okay. And if you get this dries clear, but I don't like that shiny look, that you get sometimes. So if you get to where you feel like there's too much toward an edge, just kind of wipe it in either with your hand or with the nozzle so it's not going to bleed onto the yellow piece or whatever piece you're using. Okay, so let's get this like this. And then I'm going to put this down. And the reason I like using this is because you have a little bit of wiggle room to get it straight. And I definitely want it straight. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's going to be our inside piece that I will put down when I get the card finished. Okay, so put that aside. Now let's work on the top, the front piece. And the first thing I'm going to do is just adhere this down here. Before I put it on the card, I'm going to build up this whole front panel. And then I'm going to put it on the card popped up. So we need to do this first. So let me get this. And it's a little easier to see it come out on this, and whether you have it too close to the edge. Please don't fail me. Glue. Okay, there we go. I'm really getting down to the end of this bottle. And I like to get close to the edge, but I don't want to get a big glop right there at the edge so that it bleeds over. And then just a little bit in the middle. Okay. And let's put this down here. Down as even as we can. Go around just a little bit if we need to. And that looks good. I like it. So I apologize for the light. I didn't have any light coming in, so I added this light up top, which I think I still need. And now I've got some shadows and some different light coming in. Who knows? It's been kind of overcast today, but I guess the sun's going to decide to come out a little bit while we do this. So there's that layer. Put that aside. Now I'm going to do some stamping on here because, again, if I mess this up, I can flip it over, get another piece. It's no big deal. So what we're going to stamp on here is the other section of this stamp. So let me clean this off really quickly, this bottom part, because I'm not going to use it. And this is my stamp chamois from Lawn Fawn. And I purchased this one on Amazon. So, and then I want to make sure there's nothing coming off of that, and there isn't. And this is great if you get this ink off right away and it's so quick and just doesn't slow down your crafting that way. Okay, so let me get another piece of this masking. And this one's going to be a little trickier because I don't know if you can tell, but the banner goes up a little bit on the sides. So I'm going to go like this piece, and I'm going to go like this with this piece. And then I'm going to ink it up, and I think I'll still use the Huckleberry Fusion with this part of the sentiment. I do like that color. And again, just make sure you get it inked up really well, because as you get close to that masking tape or Post-it note tape, you're going to not get stamped as easily. Okay, I don't see that I got anything on the part I don't want to, which is awesome. All right, so I'm going to have a little piece of twine here, and my little snail is going to be up here. And so I'm going to stamp this right about here, I think. And if it doesn't look balanced, I can always put a couple little jewels on the corner, something to kind of balance it out. So let's get this right about here. And maybe I should have played with this before, doing this with this stamp set, but I didn't. And I think that's really cute. I really like that. Okay. Now off. I don't think I'm going to stamp anymore with this card. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to adhere this on here, and then we're going to tie our little twine around, and we're going to adhere everything by staple onto that panel. I really like the little gold staple. I'm using this little stapler, and I'm using brushed gold staples to adhere it, and I just like that look. I know some people don't like it. I really do. Okay, so let's put this on here. Okay. A little bit too much on that corner. I don't want it to bleed over. And let's get this. And I just throw glue right there. Okay. I just want to be careful of that. Let's get this on here. And it goes all the way to the end of this piece. They're the same length. So I just need to make sure nothing's crooked. Okay. I like that. All right. We're going to take a little bit of this twine. Not much. And I'm going to just wrap it around, tie a knot. That's all I'm going to do with this. Okay, I'm going to scissors. I think that should be enough. So we're just going to wrap it around a couple times. 1, 2. That might be good. Like that. And then just a knot in the middle. And you want to kind of get this snug so it's not causing a bump. So pull that a little tighter. This a little tighter. And we're going to knot it again and cut the ends off. Like I said, I'm not the world's fastest crafter. As long as I get it done, I don't care. And there we go. Okay, and I'm going to spread this one out a little on that end too, and then cut these ends off. And just, And you can adjust this up or down however you want it. I'm going to put it up a little bit farther. Okay, so we have that piece. So now we have this front panel piece. And what I want to do with this front panel before I adhere this is I want to add a little bit of this sparkle silk. And it's clear, it's kind of clear with a shimmer, but to me it gives off a little bit of a silvery. And I didn't have my sparkle silk shut all the way, and I just covered my hand with it from using it earlier. Okay, so to me it adds a little bit of a silvery sheen, which I kind of like on this project. So I'm just going to tap it on a little bit. I might want it thicker some places, so shake it more. And make sure you shake these up before you use them, because they do, the sparkly part does settle to the bottom and you'll just get clear glob. That's what will happen. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to let that dry just a tad bit, and I'm going to do this one, this panel, and I think I'm going to do it with the gold silk because I like it on this oatmeal cookie when I've used it before. So I'm just going to shake a little bit on here. Let me see, I don't think I have it shaken up enough. Shaken up, shaken up. My grammar flies out the window when I make these videos. So yes, I like that. And I just like the randomness of it. You get, you know, a few bigger globs, a few smaller ones. I just like the way that looks. Okay, so let's take our vellum. Make sure that's all dry. Take our vellum piece. And you'll see that the vellum and this piece run the length of the card as opposed to ending when that front panel does, which I just like that look. Okay. So when we get this all lined up, I'm going to put a little of adhesive so that this vellum piece doesn't move on me while I'm building up my card, because it's hard to hold on to that and staple. So I'm going to put a little adhesive just under here where it will not show, because everything shows through vellum. So you want to attach it where you're not going to see it. Okay. Just want to hold it in place. So there we go. And yes, this dries clear, but you're still going to see it a little bit. And so this is going to go right here. And I'm going to go ahead and staple these pieces together. Like so. Just don't move on me while I'm getting ready to staple. There we go. Add a little stapler. There we go. And I'm going to attach it right here. And I'm going to attach it right here. Caught my twine a little bit. I'll just pull that out. Okay. Now I'm going to attach this to the card, I think, before I pop up my my little snail on there. So let's get the inside panel put in. And you can see this is a piece that I used that I had sitting next to some glue before, but I'm using it because you're not going to see this back piece. And if I had done something and stamped right on this inside piece, which I don't like to do, inside of a card, and I had messed it up, I could have just put a panel right over the top of it. I don't like to throw things away. I like to try to make use of them, even if I'm frustrated by the mistake I just made, a stupid mistake that I just made. Well, they're all learning experiences, right? They're not stupid mistakes. You just learn from them. Okay, let's see here, get that. Go. That's the inside of a card. Okay, let's attach this, and I'm going to have to use the little foam squares because guess who didn't order anymore? And she should have. That's right, me. So I'm going to be using more than I would if I was using the bigger foam squares. Sorry if this is tedious watching this part. just want to make sure it doesn't sink anywhere. You know, if you've ever popped up a card and had it sink in the middle. Yeah. That's very easy to do if you're using little ones on a big piece. Little dots or little squares on a big piece. I know different companies call these different things. We call them journey foam squares. So, okay, hopefully that'll do it. Peel off all these backs quickly. I find this really satisfying, peeling off these backs, but it does take a while. Is there anything crafting that's kind of tedious for you, but you do still enjoy it? I mean, it kind of takes a while, but you just like doing it. The only thing is the static from these things will stick to your fingers too. And as I'm looking at this back piece, I'm thinking, what can I do with these bees? I think I need to use them on a project next. I really like that paper. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to pop this up on here. And you can see these little dots that I did with the silk. They dry pretty quickly. Okay, let's even this up right here. And this is harder to get even because I can't move it. Once I get it, I've got it. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, I'm getting it too close on one side and move it over this way a little bit. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. I really like that. Okay, now this little guy I'm going to cut one of these. Oh, I already have one up here cut for a different project, I guess. And I'm going to put this near his head like that. And then I'm going to put one on his body. So see how I've just got a couple on there? One and a half I put on him. Let's take the rest of this off. And we'll put him right up there like he's wandering off the page. Now I'm going to do a little something extra with him because, yeah, I want him to be my focal point and he's tiny. So we're going to take some of this Journey Glaze, which is also an adhesive, but I like to make things shiny with it. And we're going to go over him and it dries clear. And we're just going to be careful here. And we're going to go over this whole snail, make him have sort of a raised look to him, even though I've already popped him up, he is raised a little bit, and make him shiny. And let me hold that up so you get that full effect of how that looks because I really like that look. See, hopefully you can tell that he's raised now and really shiny. And I've got all this bling added to this card. I really like it. If I hadn't put the silk on there, the gold silk, I may have added a little something over here, but I don't think it's necessary. With the gold staples and the gold silk, I think it looks fine. So that is the outside of our card, and here's the inside, and I'm done with one of my Mother's Day cards for next month. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and happy crafting.